November 2016 election, which President Trump won and he won big. That election, a lot of media networks gave President Donald J. Trump a 3% chance of winning the general election a few days, 1 or 2 days prior to the election. That's a fact. Some gave 1% chance to President Trump, and he won big against crooked Hillary Clinton. That's the first thing I'll say. The second thing I'll say, I'm in the great state of Iowa right now. I love Iowa. I'm getting a lot of support from our great American patriotic farmers and a lot of people in Iowa. Let me say this. There was a pollster in Iowa. I'm talking about the most recent election now, the 2024 election. There was a pollster in Iowa who said President Trump and dumb as a rock Kamala. She said dumb as a rock Kamala has a 15-point advantage on the election, or whatever, 10, 15-point advantage. President Trump won in a landslide in Iowa. The point I'm trying to make with some justification, as President Trump says, analyze the data in a fixed amount of time and then make a gut instinct decision. Here's the conclusion I'm making. A lot of these polls are fake polls that are used to influence elections, and that's a fact. When someone says that President Trump has a 2%, 3% chance of winning the election and he wins in a landslide, that's a complete influencing the election situation by that fake poll. And so that's my first thing. Now I will say this. There are some tremendous polls, and I will say this a little bit tongue-in-cheek, a little bit not tongue-in-cheek. I will say this. If I come across a poll where I'm doing really, really well against all my 2028 presidential election opponents, I will shout about that poll from the rooftops. I will say that is the greatest poll that I've ever seen in the history of our country. And look, Gary, we gotta run. I will say it because it's the truth. I believe I'm dominating this 2028 presidential election cycle. Don't believe some poll that may or may not reflect that. If it does reflect that, believe it. But that's my point.